All right, folks. It's about 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and I'm up in the Stanislaus National Forest, about 10 miles east of Railtown 1897 State Park, directly across the street from the River Ranch Campground. And we're gonna go on a really cool adventure today because we're gonna go look for something that should be there if my research is correct. We're gonna go find an abandoned narrow gauge logging railroad track. Now, there's something just about abandoned railroad tracks. I don't know what's cool about them, but it's fun to explore and the history behind them. This is a real genuine turn of the century railroad track that we're gonna go find. And what's really kind of unique about this one is it's one of the only ones that remains in the state of California. Even though logging railroads were, really a really big industry in the Sierra Nevadas, especially over here on the west side of the Sierras in gold country. But the fact that somehow this railroad track survived, if it's there, and the iron wasn't scrapped, as valuable as all that iron was. I don't know the whole history of why they decided to keep it there. Maybe they thought they were going to run it again later, but didn't, and it just became forgotten. But now it's a protected trail, part of the West Side Rail Trail that starts off in the town of Tuolumne and makes its way nearly 10 miles. We're down near the end of it, and this is one of the only ways to actually get to the trail is up this trail. This little side trail here, this little switchback. So I'll see you at the top. Let's see if it's still there, and let's do a little exploring and go on an adventure, because nothing says adventure like railroad tracks. Okay, I started recording again because I sense we're at the top here. At least it's flattening out. Just went up a few switchbacks, and boy am I out of shape, I'll say that much. But in any case, the trail flattens out at the top here, and I sense we're getting closer to our destination. Could be wrong, but that's part of the adventure, I guess. Now, unfortunately, one thing I didn't bring with me that I kind of wish I did was pants, because I am a little concerned about ticks. Ticks sometimes will hang out in the brush, like on something like this, and then once you rub up against it, they'll basically grab a hold of whatever is going by and kind of hitch a ride. And there's ticks in the area, and holy smokes, look at this. It's still here. The abandoned narrow gauge railway. It's still here. Wow. Let's say we hike this as far as we can go and find out what's along the way. If there's any artifacts we can view and see, and just witness this amazing piece of surviving history. This was part of the West Side Lumber Company Railway that ran up here. And it ran on and on for quite a distance, a number of miles. Probably, a dozen or two or three. I'm actually not sure where it actually ends. I don't believe the railroad tracks go all the way to the end of the line, but it does go on for a while. And I think this ends at the Tuolumne River, where there was a bridge that's no longer there. So let's take this that way and see how far it goes. And look at this. There's some railway tracks that go this way, but they end right there. I'm not sure what that was about. But yeah, let's go on an adventure. Along the way up here, I'm going to be taking some 360 photos to upload to Google Maps. So if you search this whole trail, you'll be able to see some of the 360 photos that I upload and get a 360 view of this whole area. So yeah, I'm going to go this way and see how far it goes. See if the brush holds out like a trail, or if it gets too too much brush where I can't go any further. Again, that's part of the adventure, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. So let's go check it out. All right, so far about a quarter mile down the trail, I've already encountered washouts as well as rock slides covering up the trail. I will say the further you go down this trail, the more nature has taken it back over, and the more brush is on the trail and over the railroad tracks. But fortunately, there's still a little side trail through each brush part that's completely covered up. Like the railroad tracks right here, but it's all covered in brush. And at least for now, I'm going to keep going and see how much further this trail goes. If it gets too crazy, then I'll turn back. But this is definitely a Last of Us kind of situation, or perhaps more life after humans. Nature's taking it back over for the most part. But here's the first switch that I found. So I wonder if there's a split in the train tracks. And if so, let's check that out. But here's a railroad switch. As you can see, really designed to kind of change tracks from one way to the other. There should be a split or a fork in the road up here. So let's check it out. Oh wow, there is indeed. Look at this. How cool is that? Only thing I don't see is the actual switch itself. Maybe that's long gone. But it definitely goes two directions here, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if one is the old bridge that goes across the river, which is just down the valley, or if this is some kind of changing, turnaround point. Maybe it's a Y, W-Y-E. But let's go on and see further. So now there's two train tracks running right parallel to each other here after that switch. Perhaps it's just a siding for trains to pass by each other. Maybe that's all it is. But now the trail is switching back and forth between this train track and the siding here. Whew. But really, how cool. One thing I'm also kind of cognizant of up here right now is snakes, especially in the late afternoon. The sun's out in certain parts, really warm. It's about 90 degrees out here, believe it or not. Sweating like a pig up here. But wearing shorts, probably not the best idea. Definitely have to come back up with pants. Hope to come back up in September for the 1885 event at Railtown 1897. But all right, let's see what's further down the trail. Just to show you how thick the brush is on some parts of this trail. In some cases, you're going through wall-to-wall brush, and me wearing a big backpack getting caught up. Whew. Oh wow, look at this. This is completely separated from the rest of the rail. The trail just kind of meanders back and forth between the track, especially where it's really heavy like this. Well, there's a wall of brush now. Front, and then yet there's no way around it. Boy, I wonder how far this goes. You could probably hear the river down there. And yet the trail goes on. It is hot out here. Like I said, 90 degrees. It was 93 when I got out of the car, so I'm assuming it's 90 now. Definitely hot up here. Huh. Well, I'm beginning to think this trail doesn't go across the river, but continues up the valley some way. Oh. Well, there was something here. An abandoned station of some kind. Some kind of platform. Whoa. Yep, gotta be careful. Well, I think we've reached a highlight of the trail. Because look at this. It's like, wow. It's like some kind of a turntable, like a mini turntable for the engine. How cool is that? Absolutely incredible. So I guess that's what the siding was for, the 2 tracks and the siding. You could probably bring the logger train up this way, log train, and stop it here. Get on the turntable, turn around, and take it back down. Now, I'm wondering, I don't see the tracks going any further. This might be the end of the train tracks, but this definitely wasn't the end of the line, not by a long shot. This thing went on for like another 20 plus miles, up, snaking itself up the valley near the river and just through other areas. But definitely a highlight. Look at this old antique. And I'm also pretty glad that not a lot of people come up here to vandalize it. I'm glad just to view it in its kind of arrested decay state. Incredible. No tagging, no craziness, which is going to be kind of I'm going to be kind of hesitant to even upload this on YouTube because I don't want any of those folks coming up here and messing with this. antique. But how cool is this? A mini turntable for a narrow gauge railroad, specifically for a little steam train. Absolutely incredible. So here's the turntable a little up close. You can see the wheels in there that would turn it around on its little mini track here. Let's see the handle where you would turn it. As you can see, it's rusted solid. This thing ain't going anywhere. But just incredible. Ingenious. Instead of building a Y, which is basically a track that goes left, so you can take a track left, back up, and then back up onto the track the other direction, then come back down. A neat little turntable. Now, it looks like, though, that this is the end of this adventure, because the train tracks end. And if there's no train tracks, then I'm not motivated to go much further. Well, on top of that, it's just a lot of brush. That would be a pain in the rear end to get through. And I don't want anything too thick, because I want to be able to see what's there, whether it's ticks or poison oak or snakes, rattlesnakes of any kind. So this is where the trail ends. Down here, maybe I don't know, maybe half a mile past the campground there at the beginning of our adventure to the turntable. Now I'll begin my trek back. So thanks for hanging. So yeah, this is up in the Stanislaus National Forest, up near River Ranch Campground. Right across the campground there's a trail that takes you right up here. This trail is really much longer than what we just did. It starts way down in the community of Tuolumne. It's called the West Side Rail Trail, and it starts off like a dirt, flat trail, but eventually you hit train tracks, and the train tracks go on for a good 5 to 10 miles or so. I'm not sure if it's 5 or 10. I think it's 5 miles. I think the train tracks go for 5 miles. So this point is probably like 6 miles or so beyond the beginning of this trail. So about a mile down the West Side Trail from Tuolumne is that's when you start hitting train tracks, and then about another 5 miles you'll be walking along the train tracks. A fun little adventure, especially if you love trains or California history, and specifically gold country history, logging, railroads. This is really an incredible find here, because a lot of this doesn't exist anymore. The Sierras used to be dotted with these narrow gauge railroads, all along the canyons and along rivers and up throughout the Sierra Nevadas, and most of them are gone. And this one is still here, in pretty good condition. There's a lot of parts of this trail where I would say you probably could still run a narrow gauge railroad if you cleared out all the brush and everything, and you went like 2 miles an hour. But some parts are not open still. Obviously rock slides and trees growing in the middle, and washouts where only the rails are left, kind of like a weird bridge. But really cool. So if you come up here, I don't need to treat you like a kid. You know what to do. Don't take from this. Don't graffiti or vandalize it. This is really a treasure of California history. Men were really up here sweating and bleeding and even dying, laboring up here late in the 19th century. So take care of this last remaining relic. And if you know somebody that's not really trustworthy enough to come up here and do that, then don't tell them where this is or anything. I mean, it's not really a hidden secret. It's not that far off the road or anything else. It's just, you could tell this has been here a long time, and it's survived this long because, vandals and taggers haven't come up here and destroyed it, really. So it's just incredible that a little piece of history is like this is still here. And we really should take care of it. Plus it's protected anyways, by the National Forest Service anyways, because it is an actual rail trail. So it was left here intentionally after the Forest Service took over the trail and everything. So all right, folks, I'm going to make my way back. Two little areas I did forget to show you. I'll show you the rock slide and the washout, and then I'm going to go back to the car, and then I'm on my way to Stockton, where I will spend the night. And tomorrow we're headed to the Western Railway Museum, which has one of the longest mainline trolley tracks that still operates in California. Kind of jealous because the Southern California Railway Museum, we got about almost 2 miles of right away, but this place has probably 5 or 6, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Maybe more than that. It's going to be fun to check that out tomorrow. But I'll show you the rock slide on the way back and the washout, and then we'll close it for the night because it is late afternoon and I want to get out of here before Bigfoot comes out and gets me. So see ya. So here's one of the biggest rock slides that I said I was going to show you guys. Completely covered the tracks. And if you look closely up ahead, it's even shifted the tracks over probably a good 6 inches, maybe a foot from their original location.